Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Minerals Live. How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
We are doing well.
We've got Richard out there on horseback.
Everyone.
Yep, heading into the Wild West.
The Lone Ranger Minerals.
Leave these Tuesday, the 6th of October.
Yeah, coming up soon.
Yeah, gonna do kind of a little broken up 2-wheel trip.
Yeah.
Do the Southwest first and then the Northwest second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's exciting.
A weekend home in between to make sure everything's okay at the
Sounds
hacienda.
Good. Back on the home front.
Yeah.
Oh, it should be a good trip.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whirlwind. Definitely planning on a
Lots of
few
miles.
extra days to hopefully meet some new people and
That's great.
expand our horizons here at the
Yeah.
Collector's
Yeah.
Edge.
That's super.
Yep. What's new on your guys' front?
You know, the Denver show was good. We talked about this last week. We
Right.
all had a great show here, and we're very pleased with how things turned out. So we, I think I can say we're all feeling recovered from the show. Right?
Oh,
right,
absolutely.
Guys? We're back in business here.
Absolutely. We're already concentrating on the new minerals coming through the door.
That's
to,
right. Yeah.
To
We've got some new things.
sell on our road trips and sell on the internet.
Yep.
So
There's always something new, and
Yep.
the guys up at the mine are keeping busy. We'll
Yes,
give
they
you a
are.
little update on that today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing well here.
Cool.
Fall is starting to move in. It's not quite as blazing hot and
Right.
smoky around here as it's been this summer.
Yep.
So that's been good.
For
very
sure.
pleasant.
Yep.
And we'll do a quick shout out to our friends at Mineral Talks Live. I think
Yeah.
Jack Halpern is on today. It
I believe he is.
May even be on at the same time that we are here.
Uh-oh.
So
Yeah.
hello to Jack.
That's
We'll
what we
meet
gotta-
in the ether somewhere, and
I think he recently celebrated a triple-digit birthday.
isn't that
true.
something?
That's a big deal.
100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In May. Yeah.
quite the man, and
Yeah.
very passionate about mineral collecting through his entire
Very.
life. He is very enthusiastic about it, and one of the things with Jack that I thought was so very cool is how giving he was to the youth in the community around his home, and inviting school groups in to look at his mineral collection
Oh, okay.
and to
Wow.
be inspired by the beauty. He always collect really spectacular display quality mineral specimens, and to invite school groups in and enjoy the beauty of his mineral collection. It was really a wonderful thing he did with his community in the San Francisco
Cool.
area. So
And Richard, you've seen him a number of times, right?
Oh,
On
absolutely.
West Coast trips. And
his passion certainly extended far beyond minerals. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went to a
Neat.
bromeliad meeting with him one time.
Oh,
I went
well, you're
went
kind
to
of into
visit him.
plants
He,
too, so,
he used
yeah,
me as a
cool.
ride to get him to the bromeliad
Okay.
meeting. So
That's cool.
there was all kinds of things. He and his
Yeah.
friend Carol in Manchester, they dabbled in all things beautiful.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, they really did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real Renaissance man, all the things he was interested in, and writes beautifully. Just a brilliant guy, and just a joy to know. And so I hope that you'll catch Mineral Talks Live out there at
Yep.
another delay here. You can go out
It will
after
be on
we're
YouTube
done.
eventually.
It'll be
as
on
well,
YouTube
so,
eventually.
Right.
And
It'll
see
be on
Jack
YouTube.
Halpern and how he's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that certainly highlights the amount of fun we have on our road trips when we go out and visit with our customers. It's something different every day.
It is, and it's an absolute blast. I know
Right.
all three of us have the pleasure of traveling around the country and
100%.
getting to see your collections all over the country, and it's such a treat for us. You have no idea, because they're invariably, despite the fact that every year we see tens of thousands of new mineral specimens that come through the doors here at Collector's Edge, invariably there's something unique and exciting in every one of the collections we go see. It really is mind expanding to have the opportunity to see your collection. So thank you for letting us come in and show you our inventory, the beautiful things we carry on the road, but we also appreciate seeing your collections.
Yep.
Absolutely. So if you're in the Southwest, I'll be there probably the week of October 6th through the 15th. I'll be started heading home. So in the Northwest, the 2 weeks after that. So don't hesitate. Richard at collectorsedge.com, and we'll get you into the schedule. Hopefully.
And Richard will
Can't make any promises. It's a big country out there.
Yeah. Richard will be pulling in a brand new van.
That's right. Our angry panda has gone on into the great beyond, and we have a panda cub coming up the ranks.
That's right.
Here, so.
Yeah, we got two new road vans, so we're getting those outfitted to be fully ready for the road. Richard will have to take them out before they're completely finished, but hopefully the transmission will work, and and we'll be able to move on down the road with a van full of rocks.
Yep. Right, yeah. Last November, the wheel bearings went out on me, and then in July, was it July or August, the transmission completely went out.
And I somehow threaded the needle between those incidents. So.
He's a blessed man.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But we got 2 new vans, so we should be good to go.
Absolutely, at least for a few more years. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm hopefully going to take the Ford. I would prefer to take that. Apparently we got a Sprinter and a Ford.
Oh,
so.
all right. Wow.
Yeah.
2 options.
The Mercedes. He'll be in the Mercedes. I'll have the.
No, I want the Ford, please.
We're going to spruce up the old Chevy just for nostalgia's sake for you, Steve.
That's right.
We're in the process of unloading that
time
thing,
too.
Yeah. Well, those trips are fun, and I know you'll have a great time through the Southwest and the Northwest.
Yep.
And
so don't hesitate. RichardTheCollector'sEdge.com, and we'll figure out a way. Hopefully,
absolutely.
Knock on wood.
And Richard's going to have a lot of new stuff on the road with him that has not been seen before. There will be a number of new specimens from the Detroit City portal at the Sweet Home Mine. Beautiful pockets were hit here in 2020. One called Dino's Pocket, after Dean Mizantoni, our mine geologist. And then a second pocket called Zach's Pocket, after one of our lab doctors, specimen preparators. And so both of them were honored with a pocket name, and both of them were wonderful pockets. Richard's showing you some pictures of pockets underground at the Detroit City portal.
Yep. And here's Brian working hard to collect.
Yeah.
Yep. Putting them in boxes.
Putting pretty rocks in boxes.
It's quite a fortuitous story how he came across these. You want to explain that, Phil or Steve? Just how exactly we came across these pockets?
It sort of is illustrative of the nature of specimen mining in a lot of ways, and you can have all the science in the world and predictive technology, and there's still an element of random. And in this case, it wasn't entirely random. We had an idea that this watercourse fault may extend upward from the Sweet Home workings up into our Detroit City mine. So we put in a sort of exploratory tunnel, and in the process of putting in that tunnel, the surveying of the tunnel deviated slightly, and we actually hit a vein that I don't know if we would have hit, honestly, had that tunnel not deviated. So it was a little bit of serendipity, and we hit this vein. We hit it broadside initially, which is not totally ideal, as far as typically you try to hit these things parallel so that you have the pocket nicely exposed in the face. This time we came at it more perpendicular, but we sort of adjusted as we went, and we ramped down, and we were able to mine out this really spectacular pocket. Lots of rhodos, great quality, and then that led into Zach's Pocket, which was kind of below it.
Yeah, you can see how juicy cherry red these crystals are, and this is just under a random light in the laboratory area, so it's not a professional picture, but you can see the gemminess of the center rom there, and the great cherry red color, and they were great size. Individual crystals, in some cases, exceeding 2 inches on edge.
Yeah, quite impressive. I'd say the largest high quality rhodocrystals we found so far at Detroit City.
Yes,
were from this pocket.
Yep.
So you never give up. You just keep on digging.
Exactly. It's the thrill of the adventure.
Right. Brian had this little illustration in his last report. I thought it was fun, and decided to add it in here.
Yeah.
And then here's the outside of the mine, just to show you how clean an operation they got going up there.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing.
Good. They have a great crew. Everybody's working well together and working hard, and it's a really fine-tuned operation up there.
Yep. So,
it is, and everybody who goes up there, who has been up there on a tour, remarks how organized everything is, how clean everything is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no mine dumps.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're piling up big expansive piles of
we're not like
crushed
the
rock.
Climax mine over the hill.
Right.
We're a tiny little self-contained operation.
Right, and all of our rock goes off-site to a landfill. And it's permitted, and it's taken away, so we're not leaving big piles of crushed rock out there.
Right.
But anyway, it's always very well kept, very professionally run, and it's impressive when you go inside there.
And I know a lot of you who came to the show, local folks recently, and some out-of-town folks too, were inquiring about tours in the future and what the status is with that. This year we elected not to do tours really for the public, because of the pandemic situation and other things. Next season, we hope to perhaps return to some tours for the clubs and whatnot. Right. So if you missed out and you really want to get up to Detroit City, then don't despair. I think next season there'll be some opportunities to get up there.
Great.
And we have our professional photographer, Annette Slade, doing photos of some of the really fine rhodochrosite specimens from the Detroit City portal, and over the next few episodes we'll try to throw a few more of her photos in to show you how incredible these specimens are. Richard will have a number of them on the road, and one of the other things he's going to be taking out on the road is a new small lot but really spectacular pieces of ludlamite from Bolivia. So
this is from a new pocket from the Wanuni mine in Bolivia, just hit last year. And these completely set the bar for the species. They crush anything from the Blackbird mine in Idaho, anything from Brazil. Really large sprays of lustrous green ludlamite crystals. So if you know ludlamite, if you appreciate the species, I think these are going to blow you away in terms of the quality.
Right.
So they'll first be seen with Richard on the road. You'll definitely want to see those. They're impressive pieces.
Get a hold of me.
It's a small lot, but they are impressive. So if you are interested, get a hold of Richard.
Yep. And just not to go backwards here, but curious, what are the plans for the mine this winter? Is Brian going to try to keep running through the winter because of how good things are going right now, or do you think we're still going to shut her down?
I just heard some talk that it might go into January, but I haven't heard that as a final decision. But there was some talk that it may run through into
Try
January.
to get as much material as we can for Tucson.
Right.
Yeah, as long as we can plow snow and get underground.
Right.
You're good once you're underground up there.
Yeah.
It's just getting there.
The temperature is almost always the same.
Yep, exactly.
It's 40s to 50s inside the mine, even in the worst days.
They do have to pump the fresh air in from outside, so...
This is true.
It's a cool breeze.
It's a cool breeze.
It's a cool breeze.
Stay away from the entrance.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I mean, if you put those rain slickers on the mining jackets, they're... you stay pretty well insulated in those.
And you feel kind of damp and clammy anyway, so it's all the same.
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. And we kind of touched on Tucson. Anybody want to discuss what the current plans are? It sounds like most of it is still 100% going forward.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think, the main show, from what I can gather from the correspondence, will probably be more restrictive on the way you can come in and how many people can come in. And also the number of dealers will be down.
Right.
But it sounds like the main show will go forward. Certainly the Mineral City show, which is growing and becoming more and more of a center hub for mineral specimen collecting activities. That facility will be open. We'll have 2 rooms in the Mineral City show area this year, and then additionally we'll be up at the Westward Look. I've talked a little bit with Dave Waisman over time, and I'll let him talk about the details of things, but it sounds like because we're in individual casitas and we can control there's so much outside space, so many separate areas with dealers in it, that we'll be able to practice good social distancing and take care with masks and other things. So it seems like that's going to move forward. The only thing they almost certainly will not have is their Sunday night gala at the ballroom, where there's usually talks and 250 or so people jammed into a relatively small ballroom, and so that probably will not go on. And Collector Day will go on, it sounds like, but maybe in an alternative spot to the the front lobby of the westward look.
Right.
But in any case, things are moving forward, moving on, and it should be in Tucson a really great show.
Yep.
Sounds like based on what we've heard so far, there was no huge outbreak from the Denver show.
Yeah.
I think everybody survived, and as well as we know at this point. And any infections I've heard of in the mineral community pre-existed the Denver show.
That's correct.
So knock on wood, and everybody continue to practice good, sound safety practices and enjoy mineral collecting, enjoy coming to shows and seeing minerals.
There were a few people that got a case of the blues right after the show. I don't know if we want to touch on that subject on the show.
It's pretty well worldwide knowledge
right
at this point.
Yeah.
We'll let our resident scientist Phil discuss this. Exactly what went on with the blue hemomorphites.
Yeah, a lot of you are probably familiar with this at this point, so I won't beleaguer it too much. But, caveat emptor, it always is good whenever there's something new to, have your wits about you, buy from a trusted dealer, and, do your homework. And in this case, I don't fault the dealers involved. I think a lot of folks just didn't know. Some miners down in the Whale Mine in Mapimi in Mexico got creative with the same blue dye that's used to turn Windex blue. Turn some hemimorphites a beautiful blue color. So at this point, there's some information that's been made public as far as the analysis of this material, and at least a good percentage of it is sort of in doubt. So
well, and I really think this episode is really a great thing for the mineral business. It doesn't seem like it on the surface,
right?
But my kudos go out to Dan Trinchillo and John Rackavan, who worked together to verify whether these things were blue from original crystal growth, or whether something fishy had gone on with these pieces. And they studied these things very rapidly, optically, and did Raman work, and I think did some XRD. And they found the solution very rapidly. And I think this is really a good sign that in the mineral marketplace, people are, as things come to market, if there's a question about them, people, rather than just selling them and pick up the pieces afterwards, they made a very honest effort to very quickly try to validate whether these colors were original crystallization or not. And my kudos go out to both Dan Trinchillo for submitting the pieces and John Rackavan for the quick and very serious work. And so while there's some upset in the mineral market for people who bought one and are now pursuing getting those returned, it seems like everything's going to work out fairly straightforward and well, and I think that's a really great sign. That,
it is,
and I credit also the internet community on all of the chat rooms and the various places that mineral collectors connect, especially during this pandemic. They're connecting and exchanging information, and this stuff, it traveled around the world in light speed.
It happened instantly.
It was instantly.
Everything is so globalized and connected now in our hobby, and the science, as Steve said, exists to make some of these determinations and help us determine what's real and what isn't. So the kudos to Dr. Rackavan, kudos to Daniel for making the effort, and kudos to the collecting community for really disseminating this information very rapidly. To protect people from.
And what was exciting to me is how much mineral collectors are passionate about these beautiful natural objects. These things came to market, and they were selling like hotcakes. As soon as they came into the marketplace, dealers bought them to be able to offer to their customers, to their collector customers, and collector customers were buying them briskly. And so when something new, and it's like the Detroit City Rhodochrosite the same way, when something beautiful and new like a Rhodochrosite comes into the marketplace, they evaporate because people are hungry for new finds and new material. It'll be like I was just talking before we came on the air to Richard that I thought he would do very well with the new Ludlamite Prehnites on the road west, because there aren't that many new things hitting the market with all of the disruption of the worldwide economy. And people are enthusiastic about collecting minerals, and they're enthusiastic about new finds. So it's a fun time, and it's good that people are checking things and communicating with others throughout the market to make sure we're all buying things that are legitimate and they can be proud to own them
and
in their collections.
Yeah, and hopefully this discourages anybody else from
Yeah.
creating things.
Havoc.
You know, because they know they'll get discovered quickly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's really, really interesting. It was an interesting time.
Yep.
Yep. Well, you want to sell a couple rocks?
Yeah.
We
why
got
not?
some rocks.
We got some.
A little bit of a disclaimer here. The rocks that are on the show today, except for one, were all on July 8th show. That was a horrible production of jerky video and audio, so I thought I would revive them. Plus, I didn't have time this week to take new pictures. So these are mostly reruns from July 8th.
Except for that Dino's Pocket piece.
Dino's Pocket Roto.
You'll get to see them in real time this time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, without further ado,
All right.
sorry I have to look around the microphone. We'll go to specimen number 1.
A beautiful
It
piece.
is.
That's an amethyst quartz from Bokenhoutshoek area
It's a
in
good
South
pronunciation,
Africa.
Steve. I was waiting for that.
I don't know. It's closer to your home.
That's a 75-cent word for sure.
And just a really lovely amethyst cluster. They call these both spirit quartz and cactus quartz, and there's reasons behind both of those that I'm sure we could delve into, but they're beautiful nonetheless. You've got the traditional terminations on these quartz prisms, but all along the prism faces, they've been crystallized with terminal faces as well, so they're very complex looking. How does that occur, Phil?
That is a good question. You know, quartz can do a lot of things, and in this case, you've got the major prismatic crystals with the second generation. I need to know a little more about the geology of the occurrence before I speculate too much.
Yeah.
But it's a cool phenomenon. You see it in volcanic environments. You see it, for example, in the San Juans in Colorado. So, perhaps it's something related to that.
Okay.
Now, when these came out, most of them, from what I saw, did not have this real rich purple color.
No,
right?
it's unusual to see these with a rich purple color. They came out in a more of a citrine-looking orange, and some of those were really spectacular. And it was not just an iron oxide staining on the outside; it was invested within the quartz. And so there was orange ones, there were absolutely clear ones, to clear to milky, and then there were smoky ones and amethyst as well. So it was interesting to see how broadly these things were representing the color range that you see in quartz. Other than I didn't see any rose quartz looking like this, but the smokies, the amethyst, the clear, the citrine, but. The deep, rich purple is unusual from here and was highly sought after. And we were fortunate enough at a couple different points both to buy large lots of this material, and we also got a significant number of these from the Uli Bouchard collection from South Africa.
Bauman?
Oh, Uli Bauman, yeah. Uli Bauman collection.
Yeah, Uli had quite a few of these that were nice, right?
Yeah, and beautiful. I think he was involved in the mining at that location, as a matter of fact, and he had some killers. So Uli Bauman out of Johannesburg, South Africa.
That is a sweet little piece.
Yeah, and that's a great one. What's the size of that one, Rich?
This one measures 8.5 by 9 by 6 centimeters.
So it's a good small cabinet-sized piece. Maximum about 3.5 or so inches. And very impressive. And this is a dirt cheap price.
Right.
It's really, really a nice cluster for this price. Usually when they're a little bit more amethystine rather than a good amethyst color, they wind up being at this price. But the richer
color.
purple ones usually carry a premium
really
on them.
saturated color on this
Yeah,
one.
this is a really nice one. If you collect this size, 3 to 4 inch size small cabinets, this is a great piece for your collection for only $750.
Oh.
This one should evaporate.
just for our Minerals Live viewers. Specimen number 2, moving right along.
Yeah, what do you
Number
have
2,
here?
we are moving over to England for this lovely green fluorite from the Diana Maria mine. The Diana Maria mine, as a lot of you know, is the sort of modern incarnation of the Rogerley mine, which is probably the most famous fluorite locality in the UK. And we got a very nice lot of this material from our friends over in the UK about a year and a half ago. And this is a nice one in that you have the classic rich green, kind of emerald green fluorite crystals that are on a quartz matrix. So they're nicely perched on the quartz. You're about to see it on the turntable here. And the twins, they're the typical interpenetration fluorite twins are nice and gemmy on this one here. So just a nice, again, small cabinet size piece, 6 by 8 by 5 centimeters, and those fluorites are up to about 1.5 centimeters.
Really sweet little contrast on this piece.
Yeah, isn't that nice? I like
it.
Very bright. Looks good on the turntable, too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And fluorite's tricky under different lighting. These things turn super purple blue outside, don't they?
Yeah, these have a very notable daylight fluorescence. So you take these outside, you'll get a nice purple. Under this type of lighting, it's more of a green.
Right. Okay. For a second there, I thought we locked up. But we're good.
There we go. You can see those nice gemmy
Yeah.
fluorite
Yep.
crystals there perched on the quartz.
Yep.
Thus the term fluorescence.
Exactly.
Indeed. That's the origin of the word.
There we go. One more little view of it. Turn it on the turntable. Let's see. It's 6 by 8 by 5 centimeters. So nice size piece.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
And reasonable, too.
Very reasonable. Just
For
$325.
Yeah, for a piece this size, $325 is really a great price. And it's gemmy, got nice color, really a pretty fluorite. And we have so many people who watch Minerals Live who are lovers of the species fluorite. So if you are and you don't have a great specimen from England, I'd encourage you to get a hold of this one at only $325.
Absolutely.
And Richard still has a little time before he hits the road to actually get this sent out to you right away.
Right. Which is a good segue into what we're going to do on next week's show, which I won't have a whole lot of time. Phil has graciously volunteered to put together another presentation for us.
That's super.
We don't know what yet, but I'm sure it'll be good.
Your recommendations are welcome. Send me an email. I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's always fun doing these segments, and it's been a little while since we've done one.
Super.
So we'll do something for next week.
Awesome. So, without further ado, let's go to specimen number 3.
Isn't this pretty?
Yeah.
What collection did this come out of?
That's a really good question.
Because it's a really fine example.
Good
Is it,
Texas
Lance
friends.
Cook, or-
Yes.
There we go.
Ah,
Yeah,
Lance and Deborah Cook.
The Cooks had a few of these that were kind of nice.
Yeah,
From
you know,
Phoenixville,
this
Pennsylvania.
is a classic American locality for pyromorphite, and you don't see many of these around. When you think of American pyromorphites these days, you think of Bunker Hill in the western U.S., but this was from an earlier time, the Wheatley Mines in Phoenixville Mining District, Chester County, Pennsylvania. And Lance and Deborah Cook are great collectors in the Fort Worth area. Lance is in the geology field with one of the major oil companies in the U.S., and he is a lover of pyromorphite. So if you're getting a pyromorphite specimen that has gone through the Lance and Deborah Cook collection, you can be sure that it's a special one because they have a real passion for pyromorphite. And this is a superb example from that location. What's the size of this, Richard?
It measures 3.3 by 4.3 by 3 centimeters.
And so a good size miniature piece, and I love the luster and the intensity of the color from here. And I also like that some of the limonite is also showing through there and giving you a nice color contrast with these really vibrant pyromorphite crystals. Any thoughts? Have you studied the Wheatley mine at all and its history?
You know, this is an old locality, like you were saying, Steve. When I was on my trip recently, I went to the Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh, and my friend let me go through some of the drawers of the Pennsylvania collection, and that was really a treat because I got to see some of these great pyromorphites and also anglicites and cerusites and things from the 1900s. And most of the ones of this quality, from what I know, came out 100 plus years ago. It's not a huge deposit. It was mined going back to the early 18th century. and very classic American locality. So if you like classics, if you like Pyromorphite, this is one you want to snag.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Very well selected, vibrant color, nice luster on the Pyromorphite. And we got a number of these when we acquired the Philadelphia Academy of Natural Sciences collection. And honestly, even though this is a little smaller than some of those pieces, I think this exhibits the finest color and luster that we saw in any of the pieces out of the Philadelphia Academy. So it's a really special piece, and we've got a great price on this today.
Yep, just $350.
$350 for a miniature from the Wheatley Mine, Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. The largest of the Pyromorphites here is 8 millimeters in length. So a really lovely specimen. If you don't have one of these and you love Pyromorphite the way Lance and Deborah do, you'll definitely want to get a hold of that piece. It's a special little piece.
This takes us to specimen number 4.
Moving on to number
Quattro
4 here. We're going to another classic, Carolite from the Congo. This is a beautiful cobalt mineral, well known by a lot of collectors. It typically forms these very lustrous, silvery crystals. This is a cute little piece. It's a good miniature, again, 3.5 by 6 by 2.8 centimeters, and nice Carolites there up to about 1.5 centimeters that are actually embedded in kind of a pinkish cobaltine calcite, which is kind of a nice contrast.
It is a nice color contrast. You don't see that all that often.
No.
Usually it's just a white calcite of one sort or another. This pink color is really kind of endearing on this specimen. And the luster's just freaky good. It's a little hard to tell it in the still photos because that luster wants to bring them black, but they really are a bright steely color, steely metallic color, and they are highly lustrous. It plays tricks with the still camera. You can start to see it a little bit here in this, but the turntable does a really good job of bopping around and showing you the flash of just mirror-like luster off of these very, very fine, shiny faces and very well-formed crystals. This is quite a handsome piece, and you won't believe how inexpensive this is when we get to that. Anything else about this deposit? They get a heck of a lot of cobalt minerals out of here.
They do, yeah. The Congo is the world's biggest cobalt producer, and often you see these loose single crystals that are floaters. So to get them in matrix like this is not quite as common from this locality. So if you're looking for a screaming deal on a nice little matrix Carolite, I think you want to go for this one.
And this is a good sized piece too. It's not a thumbnail either. I mean, the price is going to remind you of a thumbnail price, but. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 3.5 by 6.1 by 2.8 centimeters.
So it's 6 centimeters across. It's actually a little bigger than the definition of a miniature, but it's a kind of a box buster miniature.
Right.
And it's the largest of the Carolite crystals measures 1.4 centimeters across. So a really nice specimen. And I'm telling you, you're not going to believe the price of this one. It's only
$75.
$75 today.
Right.
And you can walk away with a nice Carolite from the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
There you go. Which now brings us to another deal of the day.
Yeah, we're moving south in Africa for this one here. Beautiful Prehnite and calcite from the Gabobaseb Mountains in Namibia. The Gabobaseb Mountains are chiefly known for amethyst.
Yeah.
And all of you who follow us and see us in shows have seen our beautiful amethyst from this area. That produces some very nice Prehnite as well. Nice lustrous Prehnite spheres here up to about 1.5 centimeters on matrix.
And such bright luster. I mean, it just looks wet when you look at this. It's just incredible color and luster, and very well formed crystal and aggregates here.
So if you're into Prehnite, shout out to my friend Stephen Bliscow in Houston. Mr. Prehnite. This one's for you.
Yep.
That's right.
That case down in Tucson, I was like, wow. Look at all that Prehnite.
Guy loves Prehnite.
Yep. From everywhere in the world.
Yep, this specimen measures in a 3.5 by 5.7 by 3 centimeters, so it is a good-sized piece.
And the largest of the Prehnite balls there is 1.5 centimeters across, and there's calcite surrounding this. So it's a really handsome association piece. And don't even see any of the amethyst. We're so associated with the Gaboboseb Mountains. But just a really lovely specimen, and again, $75. It's dirt
Can't go
cheap.
wrong.
Yep, 4 and 5 are quite a combo. Yep.
And we're really lucky with Southern Africa, because Brian has been really focused on acquiring important specimen lots from South Africa, from Namibia, and other countries in Southern Africa. And we accumulate these acquisitions over there in country rather than shipping them a little bit at a time. Get an entire ocean cargo container full of specimens from throughout Southern Africa at least once a year, and it's fun when they come in to uncover all of the beauty that has arrived, because there will be all sorts of localities represented, and whether it's the Cockaveld with Shattuckite and Malachite and Dioptase specimens, or it's Gaboboseb with beautiful Amethyst Quartz and Prehnite like the last piece we saw. There's a treasure trove of things that comes in yearly in big quantity. And so we have an Orongo with the aquamarines and everything. So it really works out very well. And Brian works hard all year long reviewing the new finds from Southern Africa, accumulating them and getting them shipped here so that we have them ready largely for the beginning of the year in Tucson. So it's always fun. There's lots of beauty down there in the minerals of Southern Africa.
Right.
Indeed.
So this brings us to the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes, we've been waiting for it.
Oop, that's the wrong one.
Yep. Well, it looks like a
It is a Rhodo.
It's a Rhodo.
There we go.
Speaking of Annette Slade, this is one of her photos.
Right, and you can see how gemmy
Uh-huh.
this Rhodochrosite is. It's actually two rhombohedral crystals kind of joined together with a little bit of sphalerite underneath it. It's from Dino's Pocket. And Dino's Pocket was the first one we found in this new heading, and was very, very impressive.
Yeah, very high quality Rhodos.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't around for the Good Luck or Millennium or Graham's Pocket or anything, but from what I've seen, the color intensity and the gemminess on some of these is almost reminiscent of those pockets.
It absolutely is. The luster is superb, which was in one of the other areas. You can see, boy, that's
that makes it
killer. Now that shows you what a great Sweet Home Rhodochrosite really looks like. Cherry red color, super glassy luster on this piece, intense color and gemminess. They're very transparent crystals, and they're cutting some beautiful stones out of these Detroit City Dino's Pocket Rhodochrosite crystals. Some of them are approaching the 40-50 carat range. That's the potential out of here. I've seen one cut at that size, and you can just tell how spectacular these crystals are. And we have some on matrix, some small clusters like this with 2 or 3 crystals joined together, and we're really very proud of these. These will be on our fall road trips. Richard and I will have these to be able to show them to you in your homes, but you'll definitely be impressed when you see the color and quality of these crystals. This is one of the most impactful things we've put on a turntable here in a long time.
Right.
It really shows it well.
Unfortunately, for some of our viewers, the price is as impactful as the aesthetics are, but it is, frankly, for a Sweet Home Mine Rhodochrosite, pretty value priced.
Yeah, and it really is. What's the size of this cluster?
This one measures 3.3 by 4.5 by 3.7 centimeters.
Yeah, so a really good size miniature. Great color. What's condition on this? Is there some restoration?
Yes, there is. This one has 3 restorations on it.
Okay, so occasionally when they're finding these big crystals out of Dino's Pocket, there were some contact over the history of the pocket formation and tectonic movements, and also some of the dissolution, I think, of some of the sulfide minerals over time, or falling apart of some of the sulfide minerals. They didn't stay intact necessarily on the walls. So there were some need for restoration on some of the tips.
Right.
But just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Really impressive. And in so many cases, a specimen like that, were it not restored on the crystal tips, that thing would be $50,000, $60,000 or more.
Right.
And this one is coming to you today at a much lower price.
Yes. We'll give it one more swing by to try and hook as many people as possible.
Yeah, no, that's an impressive piece.
Oh, on a shelf, this thing your eye goes right to it.
It does.
So, anyway, without further ado, this isn't quite the most expensive specimen we've ever had on Minerals Live, but
it's close.
It's close. Let's see if I can make the camera work right. There we go.
There we go.
It's $17,000.
Yep.
So, worth every penny, though.
And you're going to love it. When you put this on the shelf in your mineral cabinet, you're going to go, your eye will immediately go to the shelf that this is sitting on.
Right.
It just draws your attention right to it.
Yep.
And if you're a miniature collector and you don't have a great rhodochrosite from the Sweet Home Mine property, this would be a super example to add to your collection.
Absolutely.
So don't hesitate. Even though this is a few shekels to bring it home,
Right.
It's something worth adding to your mineral collection. And Richard can send it out to you. In this case, can send it out to you on approval as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah.
Yep.
So
No charge for shipping.
No charge for shipping here on Minerals Live. So
Anyway, so week and a half I'm on the road. November, you're on the road, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah. Phil's done with the road this year.
Yeah.
One and done.
Phil's parked it.
Yeah. But
Phil's parked it.
But it was good.
He works hard on the internet. And, any new things coming on the web?
Lots and lots of new minerals on Final Call. Encourage you to check that out. We just sent out an email yesterday. There's about 50 new minerals on there. New Rhodos also available online. Quite a few new things to check out on the website. New wholesale flats if you're a dealer as well. And even some higher end pieces that we're going to be featuring on the reserve site. So if you are a collector at any level or a dealer, hop on the website, take a browse through, and if you don't see what you're looking for, please reach out. I'm sure that we have something we could show you.
Absolutely.
I wonder if Jack Nicholson is a
mineral collector. We could reach out. You never know.
You never know.
Give him an endorsement deal.
That's right.
Anyway, well, this was a lot of fun.
Yep.
We went a little long today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're competing with Brian Swoboda, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's all good. Trying to steal our slot.
Yeah.
Wednesday mornings
We
are
did it. We
ours.
did it first.
That's true. Anyway, the more the merrier. It's
Yep.
all good. I have a feeling this is going to be the future. We were well ahead of our time 10 years ago when we started the show, 11 years ago, actually.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That's a long time. Yeah.
And hopefully we make it bigger and better coming up soon.
Exactly.
Our man Carl is working hard, getting us a better setup to this production is
New and
even better.
improved.
Yep. And you do Instagram live shows as well, right?
I do, yeah. Maybe doing a couple more of those soon. We took a little hiatus with the show, but tune in. I'm going to be doing some educational programs. I did one with a lovely woman in Singapore last year, Richa, who is a big following for gemstones and jewelry, and that got lots of views. So I'll be doing another one with her coming up soon, hopefully.
Cool.
Fantastic.
So stay tuned for more.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Minerals Live.
Yep. Catch you next week.
See you later.
All right. Whoops. Let me see if I can get this right here. There we go.
All right.
We're
Parting
signing
shot.
off. Take
Signing
care,
off.
everybody.
Richard on horseback.
Yep.